How long had Merle been talking about having a home of his own that he could be proud of? How long has that been a dream of his?
I guess since we got married, he always provided us with a home, but when we moved up here, we couldn't get mortgages, so we lived in trailers, but he kept wanting a home again. So he asked for this house.
And how long ago was that when he first started talking to the governor about it?
We must have tried about 5 years or so. We went into Flagstaff first, and they turned us down because we weren't landowners. So they said that we couldn't get a house built.
And now, am I correct to say that Navajos can't own their own land?
No, they're just assigned to us for a while, leased to us.
They're leased, and so you had the problem with being able to build a permanent structure on land that you don't own. So you're in that.
Yeah, but they've kind of changed it now so that they say that we have the lot.
Okay, so you do have the lot now.
Yes, we do have the lot, and we're able to will it on when we go.
Right. And then there was a point where they agreed to provide the materials for the home, and that's what was dropped on your front yard, basically?
Yes, it was a kit.
Okay.
A home kit.
And so that was just basically a pile of lumber and tubing and plumbing, right?
Nails and the cement.
Okay. And then what did you do there to look for help? To how what were your thoughts? I mean, Merle's not a contractor, and you're obviously not a construction worker. So what was that process? What were you thinking?
We called around to our friends and some of the younger kids, and they came and helped us.
Okay.
But of course, we had to pay them a little bit of something for unloading.
And there was no assistance available from the government to be able to provide the labor to build the property?
No, we had to hire people to come, and some of them volunteered.
Okay. And then I believe that at the point you got to the foundation where that was able to be built to some degree, but then you came into problems with being able to build the actual structure itself?
Yes.
And that's where I believe Robert Bowman came in?
Yes, then Robert came in.
Okay. And I believe it was the fact that his son had discovered, Craig had discovered an article in Flagstaff, in the Flagstaff newspaper, and he'd heard about it and shared it.
That's what he's told us.
It's pretty simple, really. My brother and I were having breakfast in Flagstaff, and I picked up a Navajo Observer just to read it, and saw the headline on it was Navajo Code Talker desperately needs a house. So I just started reading into the article and saw the lumber package and the picture in the newspaper that is dropped here on the property, and instantly thought that that's not right. No one was building a house for him, and I talked to Justin about it, and we decided to wait until Dad came up and talk to him about it and see if we can go out and build this house. So we got home, gave it to Dad, and he looked at it and he says, "You want to do something about this?" And I said, "Yeah." And we ended up calling the newspaper the next day and let them know that we were going to come build their house and build it for free of charge. And they called us back instantly. We ended up meeting the family, Merle Sandoval family, in Flagstaff at one of the restaurants that evening, and then drove out here and saw what they had for foundation work and where the lumber package was and what it was going to take to build it. And we all just came out here that same night and looked around for the sewer and the water outlets and all that stuff to see if we can build it, and came back the following weekend and brought some friends and family from Phoenix up, and we just started building the house.
Yeah, put some ass on it.
It just puts life in perspective, and that there really are angels in the world, and it's wonderful. It's just a wonderful feeling that somebody can do this for us.
When you saw that somebody from outside the nation came in to help, did you see that it was able to pull in some of the community, some of the other Navajos to start helping?
Yeah, right away we started to get response, and old students from where my mom was a secretary at the school, they came and they offered to help, and there was other people that, you know, they made themselves available and they're showing up, and I know it's just the beginning. It's the beginning of stuff to happen ahead of us. Things like this, when it's good, it really does work out. It kind of just takes on its own characteristic and take off, I think, and I think there's more to come out of this.
So you're hopeful?
I am. I'm always hopeful, and I always think of the best.
One of the things that was inspiring to us also was the help that we had from the community and the number of people who in the community had helped us. But what happened was it came together, and all the construction crew out here, the ladies, the women in the family came together and put on big feast. I put on about 10 pounds with some good Indian fry bread and some native foods, and the ladies just did an outstanding job, and we didn't have to worry about that at all. We just came here, did the work, and they fed us well.
And how does that make you feel about somebody outside the reservation of the Navajo Nation coming in to help your father?
Well, first of all, I really think we're blessed to receive such help from such a beautiful person in Craig and his father Robert Bowman, and I really appreciate what they've done.
And it just happened like that overnight. And Mom and I, we didn't, we cried a little bit, and that's it. And here we are. We've gone so far in one half a day again, and they're coming back, and they're telling us when they were going to finish it. And we still don't know how to thank them. But they're our friends, and it took a friendly person 250 miles away to come up to help us.
So this is where Merle and Lorraine were living?
And their grandchildren, they're
And their
guardians
grandchildren.
of the grandchildren, and that played a big role for us too.
Yes.
So we saw that the piping was had been frozen and busted, siding coming off, windows missing, doors missing. It just was it's not a place where you put someone who served their country that well. That could not stand. When you go through governmental agencies and bureaucracies, that it wasn't going to meet the time frame that Merle had left on the calendar. So it motivated us, and we would, these men that Justin brought up, they worked down in the desert in the heat and would drive 225 miles one way to get up here Friday night, and then we worked from sunrise to sunset on Saturdays and Sundays. And then they'd drive back and do their regular job. So they really supported what this undertaking.
And everybody did it without charging.
No charge.
Yep. And you put up money yourself for additional material, Robert?
Well, when we saw that the grandkids were involved, the
houses need to be bigger.
The house just had to be bigger.
So the package came with a standard veterans package.
It was a standard veteran package. It was a kit. It was fairly complete for what it was, but it was not much larger than about a 2-car garage. And there's the Merle and Lorraine, and then the 3 grandchildren. So we set out and expanded it and added other bedrooms and bathrooms, and we got some help from Supply House in Flagstaff for some fixtures, and we were able to expand it and change the living floor plan so that it suited their family and their lifestyle, and turned out good.
He's the superintendent of the elementary Tuba City Public Schools.
And did you just find out about what you guys are doing?
I guess he read about it. He's our neighbor.
Oh, he's your neighbor and he's coming in to pitch in to help.
Right, that's what he said.
And he just is his first day on the job now?
Yes.
Working up a little sweat there?
It's fun. We got vets in there now.
Hey, Greg. How you doing?
Build my house.
Why don't you tell me why you're here?
That gentleman over there, Merle Sandoval.
Why did Merle fight for America, you feel?
For his country and for his people and for what we hold dear to our hearts.
Did he talk to you about that
Yes.
a bit? And
Yes.
Because he went through quite a bit to fight for the United States.
Right.
And is that a picture of him in the war?
Yes, it is.
Okay, and that's
It's
can you point him
taken-
out for us?
It's taken on Iwo Jima, and they were setting up their radio station,
Okay.
and he is here. This is General Rocky and a lieutenant, and there's 2 other co-talkers with him that were assigned with him. But he's taken a message from the lieutenant.
Oh, my dad, I'm so proud of him. He's just my pride and joy for what he did for our country, and I'm just so proud. And it's just amazing what they did do. And I think the biggest thing I think I'm real proud about him is that he was able to endure what he did in Iwo Jima, and then to come home and just be a plain old citizen without really having the chance to talk about the heroics he was able to do, and not really realizing it. It was his duty, as he always says. As a Marine, he wanted to go in and protect the country, and that's what he did.
How do you feel about your grandfather serving in the military as a Marine?
Well, when I was young, I always used to go to his house and see all these pictures of him during World War II in his uniform, and ever since I was small, I've always been proud of him. And I've always wanted to be like him. I'm very proud of him right now, knowing that he's a Navajo code talker, served in the Marines, served our country, and I'm really proud of him.
Cool. So, what's your name?
Sean.
What's your last name, Sean?
Yazzie. Sean Yazzie.
Okay. So, tell me why you're here.
Well, I'm just here helping out Merle, the veteran, with his house. He doesn't really have no help, so I guess me and my brother are here helping him.
And how long have you known Merle?
So far about 2 weeks. About 2 weeks. We've been doing stuff for him for about 2 weeks now.
How did you find out about him?
Through Randy. I guess that's her grandpa, and Randy's my kind of like my aunt. So that's how I got a hold of him.
Okay. And she told you about the situation?
Yeah.
With the house and they had the lumber?
Yeah, they need some help.
How do you feel about that, as far as the lumber being dropped and the house not being built?
Well, it's not good, you know what I mean? I mean, you know, Merle went to war and you know, risked his life. And, you know, people around here are really willing to help him, you know. And he went there to, you know, fight for them while they stay here, you know what I mean? Why don't they lend him a hand? That's what I think.
Is that why you're helping him?
Yeah, that's why I'm helping him.
Do you feel that's part of your commitment as a Navajo to help
others?
Help
yeah, I feel that is.
Well, as a veteran yourself, do you feel this is since Merle had spent time as a Navajo and giving his and risking his life for the U.S., do you feel this is a payback from you as a citizen of the U.S. to help a code talker, a Navajo?
Well, certainly, but one of the
we
things
could ever pay that back.
I don't think that's.
I don't think we'd ever pay that back.
I don't
this
think
is just small.
Yeah.
This is small. I don't think we could pay that back.
The fact that we have so many veterans that are around the community and actually over the country that need to be paid a little more attention to, and hopefully they'll respond, and there'll be others that will come out and do something. Look, it takes some time, takes a little money, but it's you get paid back. My life's enriched. The boys, the family, we're enriched for life. And the gifts that the Navajos, and particularly this family, have given us are very meaningful to the Navajo, and we take it deeply spiritually, and it enriches us.
We're going to a small island by the name of Iwo Jima. And so we found out where we were going after our training and ready to go on duty as coach hawkers. And we landed February 19, 1945, and we went right to work. Messages were sent all day long, all night long. Messages were received and transmitted until we finally got situated, and it went on and on and on for the next 28 days or so. And then there was a lot of close calls because that island was so short, 8 miles long and about 2.5 miles wide, and it was not safe anywhere. Artillery could reach us, their motors could reach us, and their rockets could reach us, and I survived 28 days, and we left, and most of the island was secured, and there's only a few Japanese left, maybe 1,000 or less out of 23,000 that were defending the island. And we did a lot of really important messages, and the Japanese couldn't decipher our messages.
Yeah, just make 9.
Is there around the shop for us?
What about for the sidewalls? Make 2. Kill me! You're killing me! Make 2 with an overall length of 11 and 5.
A lot of joy in that. Creation.
During the building process, you encountered a Navajo inspector that came
yeah.
through the property and took a look at it. What was his comments on your work?
Well, we had all the plumbing, electrical, mechanical was in. The structure was solid, and they came through and took a look, and they looked high and low, and really went through the house and did their inspection well, but never asked a question, and didn't make any comments till right at the very last. And the gentleman walked up to me and he said, "Good house." and found some humor, but it was a good house. It is a good house. It's not a fancy house. It's a basic house, but it clearly answered their need. And we as a family and our friends, it enriches our life to be able to do this.
Let me have a sledgehammer, Jess.
No? You good?
Well, we got a half-inch cellar fixed. I don't know.
Okay, Lorraine, so this is your new home.
Yes, it is.
So I want you to take us on a tour here if you can.
Okay, welcome to my house.
Okay.
This is our living room,
And this is your family?
and this is my family, my daughter and her daughter, Merle, my grandchildren, Lauren, Kennard, and Christy.
Okay. Okay. So this is your living room here. And then you were talking about a picture with Ira Hayes here. You want to comment on that?
Yes, we have a little spot here that we kind of have pictures of my husband, and this is my husband with Tony Hillerman, the late Tony Hillerman.
Mm-hmm.
We're at the dedication of World War II monument, and this is Ira Hayes.
Okay.
He gave that to him along the way somewhere. This is my kitchen here.
Okay. All right, and then you have your bedrooms over here.
Stephen Ambrose.
Okay. Nice.
This is my bedroom. I got the blanket for my 50th anniversary from when my nephew's wife. This one is Kennard's room. Craig, I want to present you with this blanket. It's to show our thanks for the things you've done for us, and we hold you in respect and high esteem, and I thank you very much.
Thank you.
This is a forest green blanket for you to wear in the forest.
Yeah, that'll come out handy.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
okay. Justin, the Pendleton Company made this especially for the Navajo Code Talkers in commemoration of the Code Talkers, and I want to present it to you because you are part of the Marine Corps, and I hope you enjoy your blanket.
I will. Thank you very
Thank you.
much. Okay.
Thank you for everything you've done.
Mm-hmm. It was an honor.
Robert, we hold your whole family in high esteem. We love all of you. We never forget what you've done for us. And I know my husband is still praising you up there. Probably putting in a good word for you.
Thank you.
I present this to you.
Thank you very much, Lorraine.
Okay.
And it's for your husband and for your family. My sons, we did this.
Yes.
It's an honor for us. Thank you very
And
much.
he had gotten this before he passed away. And this, he said, is your new hammer. So you can keep going and help
Thank you.
others.
I'm not so sure my boys are happy about me having another hammer.
Yeah.
It was such an honor and a pleasure to know you and your family and to be just a small part of Merle's life. There was no way I was going to pass up his need for a home. I wasn't going to pass it up.
Well, he loved all of you too. He just could never quit talking about you guys. And he loved everything you'd done for him. He enjoyed every minute seeing the house go up. I just hope he had been here longer than what he was.
I'm glad that he was here. I remember watching him as we were building it, and it just inspired us to do our best work for you. Thank you so much.
And I thank all of you. All of you. I'll never forget you guys.
Our pleasure.
Because Merle wasn't the only one that had a package dropped, correct?
No, there were World War II veterans that had package dropped after years of waiting. Korean War veterans, some disabled veterans. And again, you have many layers of bureaucracies, and they just didn't have the manpower to put it together. And we saw, this was our first introduction to it. We saw it and responded to the family and to the fact that these are veterans, and in my mind, that's no way to treat somebody who serves their country.
About it last spring, I started working all summer, and it took me until August to finish that, to have a concrete pour, and no machine work, no excavators.
And you did that labor yourself?
Everything, but except for the cement finishing. I have to get a